The world we live in is built on invisible energy, a silent pulse that keeps our cities alive and our lives connected. For decades, we've relied on a single ruler of this domain, a lightweight metal that promised us freedom and mobility. Lithium has been the undisputed king, tucked away in our pockets, under our floorboards, and at the very heart of our green future. But every empire eventually faces its twilight, and the cracks in the lithium throne are becoming impossible to ignore. We have traded convenience for volatility, and as the costs of this dependence rise, a new contender is emerging from the shadows of the world's most secretive labs. Before we dive into the heart of this energy revolution, I want to ask you something that might change how you see the world around you. Have you ever considered what happens when the materials we rely on most become our greatest weakness? If you're fascinated by the intersection of high technology and the future of our civilization, please consider subscribing. Your support helps us bring these deep narratives to light, and together, we can explore the frontiers of what is possible. Now, let's begin the journey into the end of an era and the birth of a new reality. The lithium-ion battery was a miracle of the late 20th century, giving us the energy density needed to shrink our computers and untether our lives. But this miracle came with a hidden price tag, one involving environmental harm, safety risks, and a complex geopolitical web. We've all seen the headlines about thermal runaways, where phones and even vehicles erupt into uncontrollable flames. We've watched the price of lithium swing wildly, held hostage by limited supply chains and the ethical complexities of cobalt mining. These aren't just technical hurdles. They are symptoms of a technology that has reached its physical and economic limits. Deep within the research facilities of major tech companies and across the most advanced corridors of material science, a silent challenger has been perfected. Aluminum-ion technology is no longer a theoretical dream found only in academic papers, but a looming disruption. This isn't a simple upgrade, like a faster processor or a slightly bigger screen. This is a fundamental regime change, a shift from a rare and temperamental king to an abundant and resilient successor. The question is no longer if the lithium era will end, but how quickly the world can pivot to the aluminum revolution. To understand the magnitude of this shift, we must look at the basic chemistry that governs our world, because nature does not negotiate. In a lithium-ion battery, each lithium ion carries a single positive charge as it moves between the electrodes. It's a one-to-one relationship, a steady but limited flow of energy that has served us well. Aluminum, however, possesses a triple charge. This means it can move 3 times the energy for every single ion that travels through the system. This is the scientific shockwave that changes everything, offering a theoretical energy transfer that dwarfs what we currently thought possible. Imagine a bucket brigade where every person is carrying 3 buckets of water instead of 1, moving at the same speed. The efficiency of the entire system triples instantly without needing more space or more labor. This fundamental chemical advantage means that aluminum-ion batteries can, in theory, store and release energy with a density that makes lithium look like a relic of the past. It's a leap in capability that redefines the ceiling of human mobility, allowing us to rethink the very architecture of power itself. But power is nothing without safety, and it's here that aluminum delivers its most decisive blow against the old order. Lithium-ion batteries are prone to the growth of dendrites, which are tiny metallic spikes that form inside the battery over time. These spikes can eventually puncture the internal separator, causing a short circuit that leads to a catastrophic fire. Aluminum-ion technology is inherently resistant to this phenomenon, offering a level of stability that lithium simply cannot match. This means we are moving toward a future where the fear of battery fires becomes a ghost story from a less advanced age. Furthermore, aluminum thrives in conditions that would cause a lithium battery to fail or become dangerous. It maintains its integrity across a much wider temperature range, from freezing mountaintops to the searing heat of the desert. There's no risk of thermal runaway, no need for the heavy and complex cooling systems that currently add weight and cost to our electric vehicles. This inherent safety is the cornerstone of the new era, providing a peace of mind that is essential for mass global adoption. When we look at the supply chain, the argument for aluminum becomes an absolute mandate for change. Lithium is relatively rare, concentrated in specific geographic regions, and its extraction is a resource-intensive process. Aluminum, by contrast, is the most abundant metal in the Earth's crust, found in almost every corner of the globe. By shifting our reliance to aluminum, We break the geopolitical chains that have made energy storage a point of international friction. We move from a world of scarcity and dependence to a world of abundance and autonomy. The performance claims surrounding these new batteries move us from small improvements to an exponential transformation of daily life. In the current landscape, we measure progress by 5 or 10% gains in range or charging speed. With aluminum-ion technology, we are talking about energy density leaps that could double or even triple the range of a standard vehicle. This isn't just about driving further on a single charge. It's about destroying the very concept of range anxiety that has held the electric vehicle market back for years. Consider the impact on charging times, which remains one of the largest hurdles for the average consumer. We re-accustomed to waiting 40 minutes or an hour at a high-speed station to get back on the road. The Lithium-ion breakthrough promises charging times that are measured in minutes, comparable to the time it takes to fill a tank with gasoline. This compression of time changes the rhythm of our lives, making the transition to electric power seamless and invisible. The battery stops being a bottleneck and starts being an enabler of a truly fast-paced, modern existence. The lifespan of these units also expands from a few years of peak performance to decades of reliable service. Current lithium batteries degrade with every charge cycle, slowly losing their ability to hold a charge until they must be replaced at great expense. Aluminum cells are remarkably durable, capable of withstanding thousands of cycles with minimal loss in capacity. This longevity means that a battery might outlast the vehicle it powers, creating a secondary market for energy storage that we have only begun to imagine. As we move into the realm of exclusive breakthrough features, the technology starts to sound like science fiction. One of the most incredible developments is the advent of self-healing electrodes, which can repair internal microfractures during the charging process. This means the battery is not just resisting wear, it is actively maintaining its own health at a molecular level. This level of durability turns the battery from a consumable part into a permanent piece of infrastructure, much like the frame of the car itself. The massive storage capacity of these new cells also turns every vehicle into a mobile energy hub for the community. In the event of a natural disaster or a grid failure, your car could provide enough electricity to power your entire home for days, if not weeks. This shifts the role of the automobile from a simple transport device to a critical component of personal and national security. We are looking at a future where energy is decentralized, stored in millions of mobile units that can stabilize the grid during peak demand. Another fascinating feature is the concept of deep sleep stasis, allowing batteries to be stored for long periods without any degradation. In our current world, if you leave a lithium-powered device unused for months, the battery may deplete to a point where it can never be recovered. Aluminum-ion technology eliminates this fragility, ensuring that energy remains ready and available whenever it is needed. This makes it the perfect solution for emergency equipment, remote sensors, and seasonal storage, expanding its use cases far beyond the highway. The narrative then pivots to the realm of economic liberation, where the true democratization of technology occurs. Because aluminum is so abundant and easy to process, the cost of manufacturing these battery packs is significantly lower than their lithium counterparts. We are standing on the edge of a price collapse in the electric vehicle market, where the cost of an EV could finally fall below that of a traditional internal combustion engine car. This is the moment when the green revolution stops being a luxury for the wealthy and starts being the standard for everyone. The rumored low-cost Tesla model is the perfect symbol for this era of accessibility and mass adoption. By utilizing aluminum-ion technology, manufacturers can slash the price of entry, allowing millions of people in developing economies to bypass fossil fuels entirely. This isn't just a win for the environment, it is an economic catalyst that empowers individuals with low-cost, reliable transportation. The shift from lithium to aluminum is the key that unlocks the door to a truly global transition in how we move. Recycling efficiency also plays a major role in lowering the long-term life cycle expense of this technology. Aluminum is already one of the most recycled materials on the planet, with a mature global infrastructure already in place. Unlike lithium batteries, which are notoriously difficult and expensive to recycle, aluminum-ion cells can be processed with ease. This creates a circular economy where the materials from your old battery become the foundation for a new one, reducing the need for new mining and lowering costs even further. As we look toward the 2025 inflection point, the sense of urgency and inevitability becomes palpable. For years, these developments were kept under wraps, hidden behind non-disclosure agreements and laboratory walls. Now, the transition to production readiness is beginning to surface, signaled by shifts in patent filings and supply chain contracts. The volatility of the lithium market throughout 2023 and 2024 has acted as a catalyst, forcing the industry to seek a more stable alternative. The year 2025 is framed not as a gradual step in evolution, but as a clean break between two different eras of human history. We are witnessing the moment when the momentum shifts and the old guard realizes that the ground has moved beneath them. The industry instability, driven by regulatory pressure and consumer demand for safer products, has created a vacuum that aluminum is ready to fill. It is a historical crossroads where the choices made by a few visionary leaders will dictate the direction of the next 50 years. This shift expands beyond vehicles and enters the realm of global societal resilience and philosophical change. We are talking about the ability to bring stable, high-capacity energy to remote communities that have never had access to a reliable grid. Disaster response teams will be equipped with lightweight, high-capacity power units that can be deployed instantly in the harshest conditions. The very nature of energy transitions from being something scarce and fragile to something that is stable, ubiquitous, and essentially a basic human right. The philosophical shift is perhaps the most profound, as we move away from a burn and discard mentality toward a store and sustain model. When energy is easy to capture and safe to keep, our relationship with the environment and our resources changes. We no longer have to live in fear of the next energy crisis or the next price hike at the pump. We become the masters of our own power, utilizing the very clay of the earth to fuel our journey toward the stars. Of course, such a massive shift creates an industry reckoning where there will be clear winners and those left behind. The companies and nations that have invested billions into the lithium infrastructure now find themselves in a precarious position. Their assets are becoming stranded, and their technological lead is evaporating in the face of this aluminum wave. The race is no longer about who can build the best lithium battery, but who can adapt to the new chemistry before their market share disappears. Competitors who fail to recognize this shift will face a compressed response time that may lead to their total collapse. Consumer expectations are being reset overnight, and soon, a car that takes an hour to charge or carries a fire risk will be seen as an unacceptable relic. The market will be brutal to those who cling to the past, rewarding only those who are brave enough to embrace the disruption. This is an existential race, a battle for the soul of the modern industrial complex. As we reach the conclusion of this narrative, we see the total collapse of the old order as something both necessary and inevitable. The dominance of lithium is fracturing under the combined weight of safety concerns, escalating costs, and the limits of its own physics. Aluminum-ion technology represents the next step in our climb toward a more efficient and harmonious civilization. It is the realization of a promise that we can have progress without compromise and power without peril. I encourage you to look at the technology you use every day and ask yourself, what is the hidden cost of my convenience? Are we willing to support the innovations that lead to a safer and more equitable world, even if it means moving away from what is familiar? The future is not something that just happens to us, it is something we participate in through our choices and our awareness. Let us choose a path of abundance, safety, and resilience as we step into this new chapter of the human story. If you found this exploration valuable, please subscribe to the channel and share your thoughts in the comments below. Do you believe aluminum is the final answer to our energy needs, or is there another mystery yet to be solved? Thank you for joining me on this journey, and I look forward to our next conversation about the wonders of our changing world.